This trip wasn't about sightseeing or ticking things off the list. It was about slowing down. Hey, my name is Petra. I'm a Hungarian living in Budapest, and on one weekend I visited my parents in the Hungarian countryside and brought my camera along to capture some everyday life moments. Nothing fancy, just the kind of peace you only find at home. Let's dive in. One of my favorite things about being home is starting the day outside with a book and my dogs just wandering around. It's slow, peaceful, and honestly, the perfect way to wake up. No rush, no noise, just birds, fresh air, and a furry company. Time to make breakfast. I've always been into crochet, but this time I decided to try knitting for the first time. Spoiler. It's harder than it looks. The casting all went well after the second try, so I feel pretty positive about this. The weather is starting to get a little bit chillier, so let's go for a walk. It's been almost 10 years since I left this little village and moved to the big city, to Budapest. I moved to Budapest in 2016 and I remember so vividly what a culture shock that was to me. I was overwhelmed and kind of scared. I had no experiences with trams or metros, nothing, and I remember the first time. It was one of the first days of the university when I realized that I missed the tram that I had to use to go back to the apartment, And I remember I almost cried because my only experience was that the next bus will come like 2 hours later, and now this experience is just laughable. Like, it's so funny to look back on these memories, but back then they were so real and so shocking to me. So I think I will never ever forget these moments. I feel extremely fortunate that I had the chance to grow up actually in the middle of nowhere. I truly believe that it shaped the way I am today and how I see the world and this country. Not everyone has the chance to truly see both sides of the country, the big and bustling city and the calm and very quiet countryside where barely happens anything. The situation resulted that I have a weird life in which wherever I am, I miss something. Every time I'm here, I miss something from Budapest, and every time I'm in Budapest, I miss something from here. A question I sometimes ask myself and I talk about with my fiancé is, would I ever move back? And with all my honesty, I really don't know. I love all the opportunity, the feelings, the community that Budapest gives me, and I love the fact that I also have another part in the world, in the country, that also belongs to me and to where I can always come back whenever I feel overwhelmed with anything. So for now, I love this in between. And what the future brings, we'll see. You can't see it, but it's a hedgehog. There's another. On the second day, I had a brilliant idea to start a puzzle outside. It was going great, until the weather had other plans. The last day was quiet. Nothing really happened. Just a bit of packing, saying goodbye to the dogs, and getting ready to head back to Budapest. These short trips home always feel like they go by too fast, but this is what makes them so special. Thanks for coming along on this little countryside getaway. I hope you enjoyed this peek into the calmer side of Hungary. If you enjoyed watching this video and if you're curious about life in Budapest and in Hungary from a local insight, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. Okay, that was it. See you in the next one. Bye!